Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content of my channel and you'd like to see it grow and see more reviews like this, please like and subscribe, as only about 10% of the people who watch these videos are actually subscribed. So anyway, what do we have for you today? We have the new Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition Automatic. Now, this is a 41mm version. There is another smaller size available. I believe it's 37mm, and there's a couple of colour variations. Even there are some different strap variations as well. But overall, I think this is quite a handsome watch, really. The last big deal from Hamilton was their Murph. Now, I personally prefer this watch over the Murph. I think it's got something a bit more about it than that watch. So I've got a feeling it could be a big deal for them, really. But before I start this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis Gaye of Coventry. They never cease to amaze me with the sheer amount of watches they have in stock. There's always something interesting to pick up and review. So if you're in the Midlands area, I'd strongly recommend popping in. If you're a bit further afield, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. But anyway, sizes of this bad boy are 41mm by 11.8, 11.9mm I was reading, and the lug to lug is 48mm, and the bracelet size on this is 20mm. But let's face it, the dial's really quite, it's just nice on this watch. Even though it's kind of like a satinized black finish there, and we've got everything is just printed on the dial, I think it's done quite nicely. I really do like these kind of hands as well. I think they look stunning. And I really like the syringe style hand here, because you know exactly when it hits the minute marker. It really is kind of really precise, and I like when you set a watch to be able to do that. Obviously over here we have this hour mark, the hour marker is a nice big triangle, and I like the fact that you got this white frame going on, and you can see the depth of, you know, the difference depth with the loom versus the frame of the hands. It gives it a little bit of, you know, a little bit more 3D effect on there. Even down to the second hand having that little bit of loom on the tip there. It really just, it's the little details which work. Obviously going round the dial here on the minute track, the hour markers are fully loomed as well. Now the loom on this watch is, on the hands it's pretty good, but actually on the hour markers it's okay. But the thing is, let's face it, there's not a lot of loom there to glow anyway, so it doesn't last nowhere near as long as the actual hands do. But let's face it, this is a field watch, so, you know, it's not a dive watch, so that's just the way it is. And to say, overall, just with the Hamilton logo and text there's not too much. It's really nice. I almost think they could have got away with or, you know, either got away with all the numbers or just got away with 12, 3, 6 and 9. I think that could have looked quite good as well. Now, as we come past that, we've got a lovely sapphire crystal with a nice doming on there. It blends in nicely to the actual bezel. There is AR coating on there as well. Now, the bezel is a compass style. I know that's very traditional for a field watch, but I almost think a countdown bezel or something along those lines would have been a little bit more functional, maybe. Now, as for the action of the bezel, it is really quite nice. Bi-directional, and I think it's superb. It lines up absolutely smack bang perfectly. Now, purchasing the bezel, as you can see, we've got this nice coin edge bezel going, coin edging going on there, and you tend to, I find you grip it on this, it's almost like rider tabs that you can actually rotate the bezel with. Honestly, it's a nice bezel to actually manipulate. Now, the actual case of a watch, we've got this, you know, kind of satinized finish going on there. We've got the brushwork going on the lugs, and you've got this real nice sculpted design to it. It really does hunker down nicely on the wrist. I think this is superb. Even though it's 41mm, it really does sit quite comfortably on the wrist with no problems at all. Now, over this side, we do have a signed crown, which is screwed in. You do have 100 meters water resistance to this, like water resistance. Now, so I turn that, hear a nice satisfying pop, and it is quite a nice solid chunky crown actually. Let's screw that one back in. Screws in nicely. Now, as we come round the back, What we have there is what Hamilton called the H10. I think it's very similar to a Powermatic 80. Basically, you've got 80 hours of power reserve going on there, and you also have quite an anti-magnetic balance spring as well. So overall, I did put this on the time grapher, and I think it was around about +4 seconds, I think it was. And which, let's face it, that puts it within chronometer specs. So it's quite a decent movement, no shadow of a doubt. With its 80 hours of power reserve, it's kind of what you can take off on a Friday and still put on the Sunday night, Monday morning, and it should still be working. Now, the bracelet. The bracelet actually feels quite nice. It is only a pin affair. I'm not sure if it's pin and collar because I haven't took any links out, but overall, it feels nice. Now, the strap options, they're okay, but I'd recommend something like this, but probably in black, obviously. This is from John Keeley over at Black Iron Leatherworks. I think about £35 or so. And I think they look great. This kind of watch, you can get away with a nice big chunky kind of thick leather strap on there. I think it works a treat on there. Or maybe a NATO. Either one I think would suit this watch really, really well. Now, as we come past that, the clasp on here, obviously we've got a protection sticker on there with Hamilton and Hamilton written across there. Overall, it's quite nice. It's very, very solid. 3 levels of micro adjustment. Absolutely spot on. So, you know, can't fault that at all. That's really nice. I have heard some people say they'd like to have on-the-fly micro adjustment, but it's a field watch, not really a dive watch, so I'm not quite sure, why. And also people forget that by putting a different clasp on there, you probably would have to add more money to the price of a watch, and not everyone would be happy with that. Let me put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. A quick wrist check. I'm wearing the Breitling Colt 41. I think it's now been discontinued. And when you actually look at the clasp on this, it's not even in the same league as that one. That's a far better clasp, and that's like a £3,000 watch. This, I should point out, is just over £1,000. Mr. Bob, he's got the first gen Oris 65 diver. Still a classic, I think. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. Now, I haven't sized this watch because it's not mine. That's tucked in all the way, so you have a decent amount of actual strap size on this. And overall, I think it sits so nice on the wrist. As you can see how well it hunkers down on the wrist there. It really is quite a slim watch, and I think it works really well. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what the sales of these go like, because I think they could do I think this watch, it really is quite a nice looking watch for Hamilton. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and most importantly, guys, stay safe out there. Bye.